Hi. Oh, right. I forgot I can hear myself tonight. Try something new. I turned on the monitoring of myself on my mic. Now I get to listen to myself. It's very strange. But I guess it's what professionals do, so. Anyways, here we are. Welcome back. I'm Nathan. I am your DM. I use he, him pronouns. And I always pass off to our first player.
I'm Claire. They, them pronouns. Still playing good old Kadam.
And my name is Olive. I use they and she pronouns, and I am playing Lovely Centaur Barbarian.
Centaur.
I haven't gotten to any barians for a while, but it'll happen someday.
Maybe you'll get to do it in front of a bunch of children.
Yay!
I might have to turn off this voice monitoring thing. It's very distracting. Anyways, let us do our intro while I turn off the voice monitoring. I can't do it tonight. It's too much. There we go. It is off. I just couldn't do it. I was so distracted. So, last time when we played, Lovelace went to Insight Park with Valor, the Tiefling Barbarian, meeting Torimesh, the Druid, who got a bit upset with you, a bit cross as you were touching the drawing tree, which had given you a vision. And upon showing it to Torimesh, he was unable to interpret it, said it's usually the individual who is able to determine what it means, but he did offer you some guidance, Lovelace, telling you that you could seek out the Guardian of the Wood of Sharp Teeth, or a very powerful druid known as Xanthoria. Is that right?
That's what I have in my notes.
Yes, Xanthoria.
Mm-hmm.
But he does not know where she resides. With this information, you retired home along with Kadam, had a wonderful night's rest, and the following morning were greeted with Valor giving you some departing gifts as she head off to El Terrell to hopefully finish up her bounty hunter contract. You then continued into the city to hopefully discover the mystery of these books that have turned into gingwatzims, and in hopes of finding the original copy of the book that could give you the information needed to find out what is causing these mysterious murders within your community and home. You made a brief stop at a magic shop and couldn't afford anything. And Kadam, we found out, is a negotiator and I guess a bit of a liar.
Evidently!
Yeah. And you lost some holy water. You then went...
We spent 25 gold there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you did. And then you made your way into the upper city, into the area known as the Wide, this massive flea market-like area full of tents and pop-up stalls, just a sea of color and voices. Winding your way through the Wide, though, you headed towards the spot that Box of Screws told you to look for, known as Amberdune Books. And as you approached that end of the marketplace, you found yourselves standing in front of Amberdune Books. This stall, a pop-up stall before you with a striped awning that covers the wooden counter. And behind you see these shelves of books where there's currently a man at the counter who... You can see a man at the counter with stooped shoulders, black hair with a bit of white at the sideburns, and a pair of round spectacles, just quietly reading a book and periodically looking up over their spectacles, just observing the crowd and other patrons that are going about. But the other thing of note is the other man there at the counter. He has a broad smile, big chin, and long black hair pulled into a ponytail, and he's wearing this teal shirt with maroon trim and a maroon vest. and he is currently orating to a group of children some story from a book. And as you walk up, you can start to pick up the middle of this story as he's looking over all the kids. And
Before we actually like
Yeah.
get to the stall, I would just like to cast detect magic, just to see what's around
oh,
as we approach.
yeah, very good. Let us see what's around.
I'm looking at my class features for anything to prepare. I'm like, what do barbarians have? All right, I could rage, just preemptively. Books. They're half the battle, and I love battle.
Can you what's the specific of detect magic? Can you read that description for me?
Yes, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn the school of magic, if any.
Okay.
This spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Excellent. Thank you. When with that, as you do you snap your fingers to cast it?
I think I do.
Okay, so you walk up, snap your fingers. That noise does catch the attention of the individual with the round spectacles who just kind of looks up at you. And you can see that behind them there are maybe... Let's randomize this. Okay, there's currently 1 book in the shelves that is... You can see it's tucked off into the corner, and it's actually behind a glass case with, it looks like a little lock, to unlock it. And that book back there is radiating a faint aura of illusion magic.
Okay.
And as you are walking up, this individual who's reading to the children is looking them all over with an intent look on his face, and he says, "And that is when the 3rd goat came tromping across the bridge, and from underneath the goat could hear, 'Who is that is tromping on my bridge?' And the goat spoke up to them all, being the oldest of the 3 and the most wise. He said, 'Why, I am the oldest brother of the 3 goats, and I am headed up the hill to have some grass.'" And all the kids are watching with just utter delight and intent at this story. What would the 2 of you like to do as this is happening?
Probably just start browsing the books.
Okay.
I am trying to subtly look behind the counter to see if there's anything that's pinging my senses, either on the ground or on the shelves that I assume are behind the counter, giving this person a decent look over for any magic.
Yeah, as you approach, you see that there are stacks of books that are also on the counter that are neatly organized that you could pick up and peruse. And then there's all the ones on the shelves behind. It seems like, and in fact, as you do approach, this individual looks up at you, and you do actually see there is illusion magic radiating off of this individual as a whole, as well as the one who is currently reading the storybook to all the children.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and this fellow looks at you as you approach. Can I help you? We have quite a selection back here. Just let me know if you would like to look at anything in particular, and I'd be happy to bring it forward. We also have these books here on the counter for you to peruse at your leisure.
I was wondering if you have anything. I have been told that you sometimes procure books for people who are headed to Candlekeep. I'm planning to head there myself, and was wondering if you might have any unusual or unique texts that might get me in there.
Oh, well, it's not a guarantee, but we do have some rare books, and we have one currently. That it might, it would give you a good shot at getting in within those walls. Would you like to look at it?
May I see it?
Yes, of course. Just, please stay here next to the counter.
Of course.
Gets up and goes over, pulls a little key out and unlocks it, grabs it, brings it over and sets it in front of you. Find out what the book is.
I think while Kidam's doing this,
Yeah.
Lovelace is like hanging back more like towards the street and kind of maybe behind the crowd of children. Maybe like leaning on her spear. I could like picture that. Just like listening to the story and like kind of like trying to keep an eye.
Yeah. As you do come up, one small child next to you, this little girl looks up at you, approach hearing the sound, and she just looks up very excited with these wide eyes, and then just looks at you.
I think I give her a grin and like a little salute.
She just immediately shrinks and like looks back at the story.
Oh, also, if there's like any point where it's like they're describing like the goat's hooves going over the bridge, like Lovelace might just like with her back feet just like do a little like sound effect.
Yeah, so the orator right now is getting to the point where he says, and the great troll stood there before the oldest goat, and this oldest goat went, you must get out of my way, or I will knock you off this bridge, and clomped his hooves on the wooden bridge. And
Yeah. Heck yeah.
he kind of stops for a second, looks at you, and just
Give him a wink.
Yeah, and he just gives a huge smile and looks incredibly grateful for this as all the kids look at you and then look back at him in anticipation. And he's kind of making eye contact with you, and he goes, and as the goat reared up and charged across the bridge.
Yeah.
And he describes the goat barreling towards the troll, slamming into it, and the troll went sailing off the bridge, letting the goat through. Yeah.
Lovelace gets like a flash of like PTSD from knocking people off bridges. And like I think actually freezes and like maybe misses like some sound cue with that.
Yeah, he kind of stops. And the goat charged across the bridge.
Okay, yeah.
And the troll went flying. And then he keeps telling the story.
So like I'm not like as into it anymore. Like I'm no longer like, or like my smile might be like a little bit more forced.
There's that quiet moment as the sound of him speaking turns into the peanuts like wah, 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 and it's just you quietly in your thoughts thinking back on that moment. So Kadam, is this big raucous over there as the other individual, this man is bringing you the book, and you hear all the kids go and the guy shouting and the hooves clomping, and you watch him approaching, and he just kind of looks over at the other guy and goes, and then sets the book down in front of you. This one is known as the Wanderings of a Humble Asamar. It's apparently oh dear. How do you say this word? A treatise?
Treatise.
Treatise, thank you. It is a treatise on the outer planes. This is quite rare. It might gain you entryway. You're welcome to peruse it a bit, but please stay close.
All right. And he has handed me the illusion book.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will peruse it. I want to rub my hands all over it.
um, I mean,
But
as
I'm not reading this book. I am, yeah, examining it for like inconsistencies visually and materially. Yeah.
I mean, it's as far as you can tell. I mean, go ahead and make an investigation check.
18.
It's, I mean, it's a book. It's just that there is this very strong illusion. There's this very strong illusion magic coming off of it as you are now very, this close to it and interacting with it. But it's a book.
Can I? Oh, can I try? Like, if I tug on a page, like not actually trying to tear out a page, but
Yeah.
just kind of, getting that little bit of separation there at the bind, and
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
that's fair.
He is. I mean, he's standing there right next to you.
Natural 20 for a total of 20.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. What exactly is it you're trying to do?
Will the page tear?
Question. I think what happens is, depending on how hard you're pulling it, and maybe you use a moment in the story when it gets raucous once more to you notice him look up, and that gives you an opportunity to really give it a to really give it a tug. You expect to hear that slight tear or feel that tension with the paper, but you watch as it the page seems to kind of stretch a little more than it should.
Ooh.
And then it tries to you almost feel it had you not been looking for it, you may not have noticed, but it kind of pops out of your hand. And had you not been looking for it, you probably would have assumed you just kind of slipped and it came out between your fingers. But yeah. It's childproof, yeah. Oh my god, it's brilliant. Yeah.
All right. I think I will take another minute or so to just kind of look it over.
Okay.
And then close the book and kind of push it back towards him. Thank you. This is certainly a distinct possibility. I might continue to peruse around and see what other things I can find, but you may very well maybe seeing me again here in a little bit.
Very well. This book here, and he closes it, brings it back to his chest. Just so you know, it does cost 250 gold.
That's fine. Thank you.
Very well. I do hope to see you back for this book. And yes, please feel free to look at the other ones. Takes it back, locks it up.
All right. My friend, shall we continue perusing?
Let's lead the way.
I will lead the way. This place is packed, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. Lots of
is there? I know we're right on the edge. Is there another row behind the Amberdunes?
I believe I'm gonna say it's right on the edge. So behind it is just the alleyways and other roads going back into the upper city, like proper streets and whatnot.
And could you remind me, so what's the relation of this establishment to Box of Screws and the guild's business of selling books for Candlekeep?
So Amberdune Books just seems to be, it's just a bookseller. They're not necessarily, Box of Screws didn't imply that they were a black market seller. She just knew of them because they are people who sell books and will sometimes, on occasion, sell very valuable books.
Okay.
And you would know, Lovelace, that Box of Screws keeps tabs on what vendors are doing that because, you know, those books can maybe be acquired later.
Yeah.
As they're on their way to Candlekeep.
So this, in relation to the guild, would be either competition / a supplier that we could then like buy and then flip.
Yeah, it would be more of a supplier without the buying part.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But yes.
A mark.
A mark. Yes, that is a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly. So you would know Box of Screws has tabs on all vendors who sell books for that reason.
Got it.
So I will lead Lovelace just back into the wide.
Okay.
And under the cover of the noise and the people and the jostling.
As you do leave, though, the one individual telling the story who's just wrapping up and you're starting to leave, Kadam, you do catch his eye and he does give you a smile and just gives you a quick wave. That's kind of as he's finishing up his story. And yeah, you can head out into the wide.
That was delightful. Well, call over to him.
Thank you. And he finishes the story.
All right.
So you get yourselves nestled into the chaos of the wide, and what would you like to do?
What's the score?
Those two are crawling with illusion magic, like the people themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that I was just handed a gingwatsim.
All right. So, do we bust some heads and threaten them with that? Do we ask them, or do we try to find where they originally got the ooze book? Because they must have had a copy of it at some point.
That's true. I have another idea for that one. I believe, I haven't ever done this before, but I believe I can find specific objects if they're nearby. So, if Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions is around, I could probably find it. There's no guarantee it is, of course.
Worth a shot. You're full of surprises.
Well, all right. Let's circle back around. I don't want to be seen by those two people.
Okay. You
Can we go to like a stall on the other side? Like if there's like rows.
Yeah.
Where it'll just be like perusing stuff on the other side, and then you can cast it there.
If you want
Yeah,
to.
as long as it's out of sight. Yeah, I'll cast Locate Object, looking specifically for Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions.
Okay. What's the range on, you
I
know?
believe it's 1,000 feet or something like that.
Oh, geez. We could just be out in the street then.
1,000 feet, yeah.
Okay, I gotta. Okay. Well, the audience saw something, but it's fine.
Locate object, my phone.
Yeah. Okay, and it's for that specific book.
For that specific book.
Okay. You cast the spell as you're using Lovelace kind of as cover to cast this, and I'm not gonna have you roll because this is a busy marketplace. This would be pretty easy to conceal. And as Lovelace is perusing this stall, and you kind of stand next to her and quickly do the somatic and verbal components to cast it. Oh, you all saw that. Oops. Well.
I'm also measuring right now just to see like where 1,000 feet, how wide it is.
Yeah, I just realized I was on the wrong layer when I was doing that. Just ignore everything you saw, Olive.
Okay. I did indeed see which direction your arrow was pointing towards.
I know, damn it.
I didn't see anything.
If I was wearing headphones right now, you would see that my ears are like bright red.
Oh no.
I was going like, let's just pretend I was doing this. Well, that was a, oops. Anyways, unfortunately though, you do cast it, and you focus in on the energy, trying to see where it may be coming from, and it's not picking up within your range.
All right. Well,
It lasts for how long?
10
Like-
minutes.
10?
10.
Okay.
I'm not finding anything.
Well, if it's not here, they might know where it is.
Certainly. How suspicious would it be to ask for a specific title?
Do we care about suspicious, or could we just straight up threaten them? Say that we know that this thing's a gingwatzim, and unless they give us the information we need, we'll expose them. How's that sound?
All right, all right. Expose them to who? The Watch?
I don't know. Whoever runs this place up here. What's it? Those
Watch.
black coated fellows. The Watch.
Yeah.
I suppose so. We could just make a big stink of it. We could make a scene. Nobody likes those.
If we could get something from it. If you... No, we'll expose you if you don't...
Just tell us what we need to know. Where was the whatever book? There's the digressions of that fellow. The ooze book.
All right, but we also want him to stop selling gingwatzims.
That seems like a step 2 to me.
Really?
I care about stopping this slithering tracker. It's killing people. The Candlekeep can handle its own fake book problem.
Oh, but it's our problem too. All right. Let's go ahead and let's just ask for the book first. If that don't work, then we can start threatening. How about that?
What? Fantastic.
All right. We will approach the stall again.
Very well. You approach the stall once more, and the individual behind the counter looks up. Ah, you're back.
I am. I was wondering if you have a specific title that might that's been of interest to me. Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions.
One moment, please. And they will kind of go under the counter and pull out what looks to be a ledger and flip it open, and they're just kind of going through.
I would love to get an insight check on that reaction.
Go for it.
That's cooked. $17.
There was definitely recognition immediately when you said it, and maybe just a moment of maybe a little bit of some confusion, like how would they know about this particular book?
Mm-hmm.
And then clearly there was something that clicked, some sort of idea clicked, and they seem to kind of be stalling.
All right. I will let them stall.
Keep flipping through. Close that. We currently don't have that, but we would have a way of procuring it. It just may take some time. Would you be willing to, we could order it and get it for you?
How much time?
Oh, maybe a week? Or 10 day? A little less?
All right. You know, that might be quite helpful, actually. I'm definitely interested in that title in particular. Uh, I might. Yeah, I think I would like to commission that.
Wonderful. Would you, uh, as you know, since we will be devoting some resources to this, would you be willing to put a down
Down
payment?
payment. Certainly. Would 25 gold do the trick?
Yes, of course.
All right. Here you are. And I will hand over the entire thing that Box of Screws gave me.
Okay. Go ahead and mark off 25 gold. They put it away. They mark it off in the ledger. And then they will write they'll write on another separate little strip of parchment and tear it off, hand it to you. In case I'm not the one tending to you, there are others of us that take shifts. Here you go.
Cool.
You can hand
Thank
it
you.
to them.
May I have your name?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm Inbar.
Inbar. Nice to meet you, Inbar. I'm Jasper.
And as you're saying this, the other individual kind of who has finished up the story and is kind of waving goodbye to the children sees this interaction, and he comes up and leans on the counter to look at both of you and goes, "I'm his brother Rama. Hey,
Rama.
thanks for that." And he looks at you, Lovelace. That really, normally I don't get that kind of help. That was wonderful. Did you see the way those kids were just enthralled by that story? Delighted.
Fear in their eyes was a delight.
Well, I mean, look at you. If I was as small as they are, bit intimidating. What are your names?
I'm Jasper.
I'm Ada.
Lovely to meet you both.
Good to meet you too.
Can you both make deception checks? It very low DC, but
That's a good old +0. 14.
23.
wow. What was it? Okay, 14 and a what?
23.
Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
not suspecting anything. Thank you so much for that. That would just, I wish I could get that almost every time. I have the sounds accompanying stories. Just, what a delight.
Yeah, you seem to be a trained storyteller. Like, do you practice anywhere? Are you part of a troupe?
Yes, he does. Imbar. No, I'm not part of a troupe. I just enjoy it. It's it brings more people in anyways, and does help our business. Well, Imbar looks. Sometimes it helps. It helps. What are the two of you looking for? Imbar. Yes, I just did a down payment on a book that we're gonna order for them. Really? Wonderful. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm personally interested in oozes, which is why I wanted that specific book. We're also heading to Candlekeep here in a few days, so might be back.
A Candlekeep. I see in this book you're hoping to bring there to Candlekeep.
Well, Mazfrost's for my personal collection,
I
but
see.
I saw that you had another one that might be useful in getting us in.
Oh yes, that one. It may not work. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's definitely worth a try. Imbar just, I think, I personally think it probably would get you. Well, Imbar, sometimes these things don't really work that way. But
I don't know that I want to spend 250 gold on something that might not work.
that's a fair point. Tell you what, we'll talk with our manager, and she knows much more about this kind of stuff. And we'll let
Your
her know.
manager's name?
Corvala. If you would wish to speak with her, she should be coming by here any time now. She usually checks in on us.
That's all right. We have a little bit more shopping to do, but thank you very much. I will.
Do you have any other locations or like any other booksellers that you might recommend?
Oh, well, I shouldn't be doing that. We're the only
Or-
one. Only
so
Amberdune Books.
This is the only location for Amberdune Books.
Amberdune, yes,
Amberdune.
family business.
I see.
We're the only Amberdune in Baldur's Gate. It's just a humble little operation. There are, of course, other booksellers. I would be happy to tell you where they are, but they don't have that personal touch that we give.
Fewer stories of goats.
Oh yes, I have many more stories if you're interested.
Perhaps we'll catch one next time when we come back.
Very well. If you would be interested in the goat story, I do have it here. Not too much to purchase. If you're curious, if you'd like a copy.
No thanks. I am sure it couldn't compete with your expert retelling.
Well, you could just imagine my voice anytime you read it.
Kidam, shall we?
Certainly, Ada.
Oh, well, it was a pleasure.
Have a good one. Head off. Just gotta go.
Yes, and
Lovelace.
goodbye, Kidam. Or Jasper. Is Kidam a surname?
Yes, that's my surname. Oh, go. Lovelace.
Oh, Lovelace. Lovelace. Oh. Okay. In my defense,
That was amazing.
They're about to sell us another gingwatsim, obviously.
Yes.
That's not really a defense. That's just a change of subject. I now realize.
Ed is what I call my father.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, what a coincidence. Small world, small world.
Means dad in Elvish.
Well, Kidam's an honorific in Centaur.
I don't believe you. All right, so Jasper Kadam, sure, all right.
Sure. This is why I usually let you do the talking.
So we'll see what happens.
What's the plan?
I think we should tail him.
I believe we should. I specifically want to see what they're going to do in order to get us a copy of Mass Froths.
Yeah, I'm expecting that they have some kind of operation somewhere where they're making these copies. I don't know how to find it out though.
I think we follow them, or eavesdrop, or both. I also want to get a hold of that other Watson. I don't have 250 gold. I mean, who does? My only idea for that is to go back to Box of Screws. Ask for some help.
If they're... Yeah, Box of Screws has a network that could follow them, perhaps.
Yeah.
Seems like a good first step. Jasper.
All right, Dad. All right. Do we want to go back to Box of Screws right now? Do we want to hang around and see what we can hear? Do we want to come back later when they're packing up and follow them then? Do we want to split up?
I think getting some help from the shadow inclined is a good idea. I suspect they're unlikely to make a move, especially if they've given themselves the 10-day before the end of the day. I think just following them at nightfall is a good first step. We could just stake out the gates, I think is a good step.
We don't even know if they're leaving the upper city.
Hmm. I suppose. Yeah. Hmm.
I think I am slightly less obvious than you. If
You'd
we're
be
just trying to,
surprised. Like, throw a card on me, and centaurs become background noise of this city.
all right. Well, if we can obtain a cart, I won't object. But I'm just thinking of.
You could borrow the ambulance from the healer's crew.
They might need that.
Yeah, well, it's an emergency. They'll need it if the Slytherin tracker kills more folks.
Well, no, if they're dead, then the ambulance ain't no use.
Yeah.
I do not want to misappropriate collective objects.
All right,
to...
well, maybe Box of Screws has one. I'm sure she does.
Maybe. All right, are we both going back to her?
Yeah, seems good.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Heading-
Jasper, I'm a fool.
Just keep practicing.
Jasper, got it. Did you know we were using fake names ahead of the time? I tried to
Well-
follow your lead.
No, you did. That was good. I didn't really plan to be using fake names either, but I felt like it would be a good thing.
Yeah.
I have never spent 25 gold at one time in my life.
Yeah, look at you high roller.
Okay. All right. Well, you wind your way back through the chaotic mess of the Wide towards Baldur's Gate. You don't have to pay a fee leaving. You're able to get through the very busy gate, making your way down the steeps. And the steeps is incredibly busy, much like the Wide. There's a lot of folks that are going up towards the upper city, and this whole district itself is just essentially, there's barely any residential places in this district. It is all businesses, leading all the way down to the harbor, where it looks like cargo is essentially offloaded and goes straight into shops right there on the steeps. Can one of you roll a d20 for me as you head on towards the cracked spine?
I can do it.
How about Ada?
Ada can do it.
Ada. 6.
6. Okay. You make your way along the waterfront as the... God, I don't even know what time it is. I wasn't keeping track of time. Oh well, we'll say it's noon. Sure. As you make your way along the waterfront, the nice, beautiful noon sun above you, you can see the water glistening off to your right, and you eventually get up to the front door of the cracked spine. And entering within, you see... oh dear, where's all my information about this stuff? There it is. Okay. Disa, right. You see Disa sitting there as you enter, and she goes, "Ah! Good job, Lovelace. Nice to see you. You're back already, huh? Okay.
In and out. You know how it is.
Okay. I'll have to go see if she's there. I may as well just come with me." And she kind of looks around. Yeah, nobody's
there's no one here?
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody's here. Let's go. She leads you to the back, pops open that rune, clicks the button as the door slides open, and gestures for you to head downstairs, and you end up back in the cellar of the cracked spine where money is being counted.
Disa, out of pure curiosity, do you actually make any money off of the bookshop?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Not as much as, as,
Well, certainly. I was just curious.
Have you ever considered, like, having some kind of, like, story time? Like, I'm sure the kids would love it. like come in here and like have some kind of like bard reading from the books?
Yeah, then maybe, but then I got a bunch of little kids running around here.
That's true.
Uh,
It's not really the purpose.
no, I don't need no children running around this store. Loud and messy. Sticky. Don't want
Tell me
that.
how you really feel, Disa.
I don't really like kids.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, go ahead. And you head on down. You know what? I'm not. Yeah, fine. Yeah, we'll say you head down Kadam, and you do see Kadam and Lovelace, and you do see, much like last time, Box's Cruise is back at the back of the cellar behind the counter. She seems to be she has like a tin plate next to her with some cured meats and bread and a big old mug, and she's just kind of hungrily eating there and just kind of perusing over some papers, having her lunch. And the rest of the room seems to be somewhat empty. There's just the guards in there, but nobody's currently counting coins. When she looks up, well, I see you're back already. Any good news?
Actually, yes. We have a fair bit more information. We have a couple of leads, and we need some help.
All right, what kind of help do you need? I
Well,
may or may
perhaps
not be
some-
able to provide it.
Perhaps some quieter folks than us, more suited to being unobtrusive.
Might be something I could provide. What do you have in mind? What's the job?
Tell her what we learned about the gingwatsim that's right there that we probably want to get a hold of, and then the commission under Jasper's name.
Okay.
The fact that we suspect that they're going to their Gingwatsum production,
Right.
which is seems something like she might want to get eyes on.
Okay. Why don't whoever wants to do this make a persuasion check with
You don't.
advantage?
Jasper,
I'm very grateful for that advantage because one of them's a natural one. 19.
Well, I could maybe spare one person to tail these folks and see where their base of operations is. You need after that we're gonna have to assess what part of the city they're in, and may need to well, I can't be seen stepping on any toes, you understand?
Of course.
So
Another option would be to make me and Lovelace look different. Might be able to tell them ourselves. They've got our faces.
well, what'd you have in mind for that, Gadon?
I know that some people are pretty handy with disguises.
Yeah, you might be able to whip something up. Not a bad idea. Yeah, we could do that. Disguise the two of you. Lovelace, you might stand out a little bit more, but can make you look like a different centaur, for sure.
couriers are all over the city. They won't even notice me.
That is true. All right, very well. I'll when do you need this by? When do you plan to what's the plan you have in mind?
Hailing them when the wide closes, yeah?
Sounds good to me. See where they pack up, take home to the day's earnings.
Mm-hmm.
That would be beneficial to me. I'm a bit swamped right now, and as I said, if depending on where they go in the city, could be stepping on some toes if someone were to find out I had operations running in other districts. I could, of course, start talking with the other kingpins, but it's a little more complicated than it seems necessary.
No, that makes sense. Do the names Inbar, Rama, or Korvala mean anything to you? I suspect they're all
Korvala, maybe.
fake names, but
I believe Korvala is the one who runs Amberdune. The other
That's
names
right.
don't ring a bell.
all right.
Possibly, Kidam, you said fake people as well?
Yeah, I mean, the two we spoke to were crawling with illusion magic. So I don't expect that these names are actually connected to real people, but it's always worth asking.
I don't know if those names are fake or not, but that's quite fascinating to hear. Well, I'll get my best to help you with disguising yourselves, and I do hope that allows you to get to the bottom of this. You're gonna head out this evening, you say?
Yep.
Alright, very well. I'll send someone out, and you can make yourselves comfortable within here. Have some food if you like. Got some stores in the back. And just sit tight. And yeah, she'll send out a runner to go and grab someone that can do this for you. Do the two of you want to do anything while you're waiting?
Wait, was this in addition to getting a sneaky third person? Or
Sure. You can have one extra sneaky person to go with you.
I got +4 in stealth. That's
Okay.
That is
in a row.
considerably better than my +0 at disadvantage.
Let me I gotta do some quick random PC generator here
Totally.
to help me out.
rogue. Somebody with a tragic, dark backstory.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, as you're waiting down here within the basement of the Crack Spine.
I guess I would like to talk about what our plans
Yeah,
are.
go for it. The both of you
Exactly.
can do
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Okay, so I'm thinking, do we all? I don't know if it makes sense for all of us to be together as a group. A couple of us could stake out some gates if they're leaving the wide. A third of us could just tail them directly.
There are a lot of gates.
How many? I'm counting them.
1, 2.
I see 2 south gates and then black gate.
Oh, for gates, are you talking about gates leaving the city or gates going into the wide,
Gates-
into the upper city?
Gates that the wide would go through to leave the upper
Yeah.
city.
There is Baldur's Gate, Black Gate, which is the one that goes into the Black Gate neighborhood,
Mhm.
and
Heap, Gond, Manor, and Seagate.
yeah, so one of those, most of those are all private gates.
Okay.
I think of the 2 that are public, I think it's just Blackgate and Baldur's Gate. I think there's one other one. Hold on, I know there's one other one.
On the map, I see maybe one between Manaborn and Sea Tower.
Yeah, that sea gate.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that is a private gate. Hold on. Okay, so the black gate is known as Black Dragon Gate. There's the Baldur's Gate, and then there's Citadel Gate, which is the very unlikely they would go through here, but it's basically
The Citadel Streets
Oh.
Temple one.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's where it's where the Watch's base of operations is, and
So they're either
Yeah.
going north or south.
so yeah, there's really only like 2 gates.
Yeah, we don't know if they're allowed to go through the private gates or not. though.
Right.
Let's start out by assuming not. And we can tail them another day if we don't catch them today.
All right. I'm just worried.
So, after some time of waiting, eventually,
Oh, another point. How
Yeah.
do we contact each other?
Meet up at the end of the night. I don't have a better idea. If things
Oh.
down and the wide has emptied out and you haven't seen anybody,
oh, is the plan you're gonna split up and post up at the 2 gates?
what I would like to do is we do that
Yeah.
and then have our third sneaky person where they don't know the faces just straight up tail them
Okay, great,
to give us the third shot.
cool. Okay, we're gonna do. Okay, I think I know what
Dom,
I'm gonna
you
do.
look uncomfortable with this.
How do we know everything's going all right? How do we know the other person's not captured or dead or lying in a gutter somewhere?
Well, how do you know that any day?
Well, normally I don't do this sort of thing. My day-to-day is much safer than this.
I mean, they're booksellers. It's in the middle of the city.
They ain't just booksellers, Lovelace. We both know that.
Well,
They're working with some pretty powerful magic here.
that's true. That's true. Do you have a better idea?
I think we should just tail them.
I mean, we are doing that.
Right, but like, if there are 3 of us together tailing them,
That's
We can-
tricky.
communicate with one another.
I can't see that going well. It's a lot harder to travel in a group undetected.
Perhaps within hollering distance of one another.
I mean, think about it this way: if one of us is tailing them, the other 2 are gates. That's gonna be 2 folks who join up.
Again, that's assuming they leave.
Yeah. I mean, splitting the party is not that bad an idea.
I feel like one person ain't a whole party by themselves, so
Famous last word. What's the plan? What do you both of you want to do?
I mean, we're not going to engage. We're just following, getting information,
oh,
and once we know, we can meet back up and make another plan.
right.
So
We're gonna-
are the 3 of you gonna tail, or are you gonna do the both of you posted up at the gates with the one person tailing?
I think the second plan.
Okay, Kadam.
I don't think it's a good idea, but I'm not. I don't know if I can convince Lovelace.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Do we need to flip a coin? Or does Lovelace? Yeah, Lovelace.
Nah, Lovelace doesn't flip no coins.
Okay. All right. Sounds like you're doing the second plan.
Yeah, I know
Speak
this.
now or forever hold your peace. Yeah, well, Lovelace, go for it.
I mean, we can whoever the sneaky folk person is, we could get their opinion on these sorts of stakeouts. I've only done a little bit of this, but
And this is my first one ever. Hopefully my last.
mm,
Yeah, let's check in with the authority.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a name. That's quite a name, okay. Cotholm? Cotholm? That's a strange name that I just haven't encountered in my life. Okay, so a halfling shows up that that Box of Screws sent for. They are dressed very plainly. Nothing ostentatious about them. They have long braided brown hair and kind of soft features as this halfling man looks up at you, arms crossed, and you ask them what you think is the best plan of action between these two. Kind of looks at the two of you. You know, I'm gonna be able to move a lot better by myself. So, I think plan 2 is probably the way to go. Yeah. Two of you don't look like, well, Lovelace. I mean, no offense, you kind of stand out, even with the disguise.
it's fair.
I hear I'm also doing that, huh? Giving you both disguise.
If you would be so kind.
Let's get right to it. Okay, I'm gonna have him roll. I looked up Disguise Kit. I'm gonna say he's proficient. I'm gonna have him roll a sleight of hand check. He has proficiency in it. And
I was thinking for Lovelace's disguise, at least, like
Yeah.
I'd get a cart with kind of packed up sellers stuff, so it looks like I too have packed up from the wide.
Okay,
And so it makes sense that I'd be like there at about that time,
Sure.
then traveling at some point.
but you are gonna post up at a gate, right?
Yeah, I'll like break a wheel or something, then have to fix it.
Okay,
Break
nice.
a wheel.
Nice. Okay. So I'm gonna do 2 rolls for one for each of you, and this will kind of determine how well Cotholm does in
Atom?
I don't know how to pronounce it's Cottolm. Cotholm. OLM.
Sure.
Sure. That's what random NPC generator gave me, so I was not expecting this approach that both of you were taking. It's awesome. I love it. But I had to rely on some random generators.
Totally.
Yeah, it is very smart.
Lovely. Or Kidam, what are we gonna do about you? Like you don't look entirely comfortable.
Well, I will try to look comfortable.
What's in the steeps? I'm asking out of character.
The Steeps, it's just a bunch of shops. It's like a major mercantile district, because because it's so close to the upper city and the harbor. It's like prime real estate for merchants.
Okay.
I could be a lost sailor. Like looking for a good time, but never been here before.
Be like waiting for some date.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been scammed and someone told you to meet them there so they could get you the money that you loaned them, and so you're waiting around, not having a good time.
Right. Yeah. I can be uncomfortable on purpose.
Great.
Perfect. So, as you were discussing this, Cotholm brings you down, Lovelace, and goes, okay, yeah, just come down here. All right. He starts going through, trying to give you makeup. He does go to your hair and starts to undo the
Yeah.
braids.
Yeah.
Starts changing up your hairstyle.
I think I probably undo the braids.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, he'll stop and just focus on the face. He does grab some like different clothing that a box of screws brings out and tosses it to both of you. He does a really good job on you, Lovelace. You look like a different person. I'll say, if you wish, you could describe the way you look, but you look different. And for you,
I think I look fancy. Like, I'm not gonna be like decked out in a ton of like weapons.
Yeah.
Because like that's like such a fingerprint for Lovelace.
do you stash the weapons like in the cart, and that's where
Oh
you keep
yeah,
them,
that's
or...
a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Kadam, he does an okay job for you. Maybe he's just feeling a little tired, but he or a bit rushed. We'll say he spent too much time on Lovelace, and you're kind of starting to run out of time in the day. And he has to speed along a little bit more with you, Kadam. So yours is okay. What do you imagine your disguise being?
I think going full elf rather than half elf.
Oh,
so
okay.
like build on the ears a little bit.
Okay.
Like maybe accentuate the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Sailor's clothing.
It looks okay. It would pass from a distance, but when you get close, you can kind of see the probably wax that was used to extend the ears. Maybe a little bit of wax is showing on like the nose and the bridge of the eyebrows and your cheeks to make you a little more pointy. But yeah, it's okay. Okay, so you all head out as the sun is starting to go down. You're gonna need to pay another silver to get into the upper city, so whoever's covering that.
If I'm
Oh yeah, no.
out in the steeps?
So then Lovelace, it's just 5 copper for you because it's just the one.
Okay, I can do that.
And as the sun is going down, you head up back into the upper city, and Kotholm, right when you get to the to Baldur's Gate, just before entering, turns to you both and goes, "All right, so I'm gonna head into the wide, go to the stall you talked about, and I'll tail them. Where are we meeting after the fact, and at what time?"
I suppose if once the wide has cleared out, the last stragglers have gone through. If we haven't seen them, we just meet back at what's the box of screws?
At
The cracked spine, yeah.
The cracked spine.
All right, Lovelace. If like, are we trying to hit closing time for the gates as well as the wide?
As well as the wide. I don't understand what you mean.
Well, the gates close at, what is it, 10 p.m.?
Oh yeah, I mean if the gates close, then that's that, right?
Right, but then if you're still in there, well, both of you, you'll be fine. Which, I don't know, is that an issue right now?
You should be fine. You like,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Like depending on how this will be part of it. We'll see what happens, because if you're gonna plan to purposely have the wheel break inside, are you gonna do it inside of the upper city?
Just outside.
Just outside. Okay, cool.
I think
Cool.
like just outside in Blackgate, so I can like watch the people coming
Okay.
out.
Yeah. So we pay your 5 copper pieces. You all plan to meet back at the cracked spine. Once you complete your task for the evening. And we don't have to get too specific about the time, just when to meet. So, Lovelace, you make your way across the upper city while Kadam, you wait at Baldur's Gate. Kadam, Lovelace, why don't we have you roll a d20 as you are making your way across the upper city, just to see, any
Man, I have rolled
complications.
so low for all of these. 3.
Was that a 3? Okay,
Oh.
So no problem. You make it to the other side and push through Black Dragon Gate out into the district
I've done this
known as Black Gate.
hundreds of times, just like carting things around again for a box of screws.
Yeah, and in fact, I think as you are making your way through Black Gate, you can see there are a handful of centaurs that I don't know if you recognize them or not. Maybe you do, but you do see there are a handful of centaurs that are seeming to head out into Blackgate, and you see that there are vendors walking along with them, and they're pulling these big carts that are just filled with what looks to be a day's worth of goods from a stall. As you're starting to see a steady stream of what appear to be merchants that are coming from the direction of the Wide. And you head out to Black Dragon Gate and purposefully have your wagon break its wheel.
And like I think it's like something that I'll be able to like just like snap back together, or it's just like a rung or something has come off.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I pull it into like some alleyway or alcove and like am fiddling with it.
Okay.
So like anybody coming by
Okay.
sees me fiddling with the thing.
All right. And Kadam, you are there at Baldur's Gate, anxiously waiting.
I think I find a cafe, or well, no, this is all. Well, would there be cafes or taverns around here within inside of the gate? You said this was all businesses, and I'm not sure how you're categorizing.
I mean, that would be let's find out. That would be like a pretty, yeah, we'll say that there is a tavern within sight of Baldur's Gate. It's probably called something super generic like Baldur's Gate Tavern, and it's just like it's like the tourist spot that everybody goes to. It has a view of Baldur's Gate. You can get
I am a tourist tonight. I will order myself, I don't know, a mead.
Okay.
And sit with it outside.
Okay. Go ahead. You can put down 2 copper pieces as you get yourself a mead and sit outside and watch the stream of people entering in and out of the city. While your new friend, Kotholm, will go and attempt to tail. So I'm going to do a roll here behind the scenes to see how he does. Okay. And
What does that face mean?
Nothing. And can I get both of you to make perception checks for me as you are waiting at your respective gates to see if you can spot them leaving?
15.
Assuming they're going through those gates. 15?
21!
Woo! Look
Nice.
at that. Look at that. Okay. So, Kadam, you spend your evening sitting there at the gate, just watching countless people entering in and out until eventually it's getting pretty late and you hear the bells tolling and you see that there are some individuals who seem to be dressed in very fine clothing that are just like almost stumbling out of the gate like they've been sprinting, and you see that they're flushed and sweating. And eventually you do see some of the watch in their black attire roughly shoving some folks out the gate as the gates slowly close. But you do not spot Rama or Imbar. You have no idea what Corvala looks like or any of the other employees, so... Yeah.
All right.
Lovelace.
Mm-hmm.
On your side of the city, as you're fiddling with the wheel of the wagon. Again, similar routine. You can, well, actually, we'll say even before that, it is getting later into the evening, just as the sun has set. So there's a little bit of light off to the west, but the sky is pretty much a deep blue purple. You actually, because again, you don't know what Corvala looks like. You don't know what any of the other employees look like as you're trying to gauge this sea of merchants that are slowly exiting Blackgate.
Mm-hmm.
However, you do spot a small halfling who is walking out of Blackgate, kind of casually looking ahead through the crowd. And you notice, you track their eye line, and you see You see
So I
two-
love having expert helpers.
You see two individuals that they seem to be trailing. One of them is a middle-aged woman. She kind of has a bob and her hair's a bit messy. She's wearing this very like rough spun clothing and a thick work apron on as she's pulling this cart that seems to be filled with crates. And next to them, you see a much more petite woman who has these big, wide eyes and long braids that cascade down her back. And you notice that both of them look over their shoulders nervously right towards the halfling that's following. And you notice they are kind of going at a brisk pace. But they do not clock you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Fix my wheel, sidle on up to Cathom.
Katom. Katom?
Okay.
Katom. I'm gonna say that's how it's pronounced. I could be very wrong. But Katom. You saddle on up next to Katom. Are you trying to be like subtle about it?
Yeah.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Would love to, Nathan.
Oh, good.
17.
Nice. Yeah. You. It takes a little bit. You gotta slap that wheel on, screw on the piece to keep it on its axle, and you grab the cart and start clomping up very carefully up next to Katal. Maybe like a body length away from them, but you see him track your presence and do a quick nod, and you see him do a hand gesture that I'm not gonna try to make it up at the moment, but you see him do a hand gesture that you would know, being someone who was in the guild, is essentially a signal for I've been made. So he's aware that, that they know that they're being tailed. And what he does is he locks eyes with you, and you watch him turn and start to walk away.
Yep, perfect. I was gonna tell him to if he wasn't gonna.
Yep. Okay.
Great.
So it's just you.
Just me, and I'm gonna tail him.
Okay. Keeping an eye on them. You follow them out into the Blackgate neighborhood, and this district is similar to Stony Eyes. It is a lot of stables and knackeries and butcher shops and butcher houses. So it has quite a strong stench of manure, mud, and blood. And as you're following them through this neighborhood, you watch them keep looking over their shoulders, and eventually you see them looking as the crowd continues to thin out as people go to their respective homes. And they eventually seem to slow down their pace. And you see them like lean in and talking to each other. They kind of stop for a moment, and the wide-eyed woman takes a moment and really like scans behind. And they don't seem to track you or notice you, especially with that stealth check. You were able to pull off to the side and are able to blend in with what other people are doing. And eventually they keep going on their way, calmly, seeming to a little bit of nerves as they look over their shoulders every once in a while, but again, they don't track you. And they head out to the far edge of the Blackgate neighborhood, almost where the buildings start to dissipate into fields and farms. And you find you follow them to a very small, humble home. You see them enter into a tiny square building, maybe probably about 30 foot by 30 foot, very small little home. And you watch as they pull the cart off to the side, and both of them start unloading these crates, and you watch the front door open, and 2 more people step out to start helping them unload. And you do see that the kind of bigger, broader-shouldered woman with the apron and the bobbed hair goes up to another woman. This woman is very tall and very striking. She looks to be pretty young, probably in her 30s, maybe mid-30s, but she has this very tall frame and striking features, these very nicely groomed eyebrows, black hair, dark brown eyes, olive skin, and she's looking down as the older woman with the bobbed hair is just kind of explaining something to her, and you just watch as this woman patiently listens, and then gestures towards the cart, and she grabs a crate, and they all start unloading these crates into this home. Would you like to do anything?
Is there a place that I could watch from the shadows?
I mean,
no.
The stealth check you made, you're good. Like, they don't notice you, unless you want to try to get closer to, overhear conversation or make out more details. Then I'm gonna have you make another stealth check.
Nah. I'm gonna play it real safe and just like turn down a side street, but then just like hunker down somewhere and like watch to see if they do anything else from the outside.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. How long do you want to wait there?
Just I guess until they finish packing. I guess unload their carts. And do they like bring the carts inside? Do they leave the carts outside? Do I see what's inside the carts? Do they or the crates? Like, are they just like
make
books?
make a perception check.
Sure. It's +4 to all of my stuff. 19. That should have been another stealth.
Nice.
It's fine.
So you are looking to see what they're unloading and see if you can see anything inside?
Yeah.
Okay. With a 19, you can just make out the kind of first interior area of this home, and it looks to be some sort of, I don't know, maybe a common room would be the best way to describe it. Like as they are moving in, you can see there are kind of mismatched furniture within that's, and in the center of the room, there's a small wooden table, and it looks like there is a few. You in fact watch as somebody goes in and they're like clearing mugs and dishes off of this wooden table. The crates themselves, as far as you can tell, you actually notice they are the shelves that you saw at the store.
Okay.
They're just modular shelves that they can easily stack, and they have some sort of way of closing them shut. And so you can't really tell what's inside them, but
presumably
the books. Yeah. They look to be the shelves, just broken down. You see them pack up the awning, a sign, like it all looks pretty, standard.
God, I've done this so many times, like in real life, of like packing up post like show stuff, and it's just very evocative for me. It's like, oh yeah, like they're tired, they're not really looking out.
No, yeah, they are. They are very much doing their routine, and like I'll say this: you clock. There are, I can tell you how many people you guess live in this home.
It's a small home for like people to live in, plus being a storage place.
Yeah, and it looks like there are 7 people that live here, as you see others coming out. So there is the middle-aged woman with the bobbed hair. You see Imbar come out. You see the woman with the big eyes and the long braids. You see Rama. You see a very scrawny, like thin young man who comes out and seems to be speaking with the tall, striking woman with a ledger of some kind, and is like writing things down as they're discussing as the books are getting loaded in. And you do see this much older man come out, who you pick up some slight humming across the street as he's just kind of humming to himself, and he comes out with a tray of some mugs, and you can see steam coming off him, and he's passing them to the woman with the bobbed hair, and passes one to the woman with the braids, and then brings a third one to the taller woman with the striking features.
Okay. Does Inbar and Rama look the same, or has an
yeah.
illusion dropped?
They look the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You'd have to get closer.
Nope. I'm done. I'm out of here. Okay.
Well, I mean, eventually you see them all retire inside, and now the home is just, you just see some light kind of coming from the
Great.
windows.
Are all of these people human?
They all look to be human.
Okay.
Yeah, time for me to go.
Okay.
And I got to go the long way around.
If you don't want to, you do. Yes, you do have to go the long way around. You're gonna have to go all the way around the walls. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's only 3,000 feet on this map.
Yeah. So it's that's a little more than a half mile to go along that wall with your cart.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, you start making your way back. And I think the way we'll end this is, Kadam, as you head back to the cracked spine and are greeted, you see Katalm waiting there. Yeah?
I might, after the gates close, just quickly swing all the way back home. I know it's out of my way, but I do have a client who's due any day now.
Okay.
And then go back to the cracked spine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I didn't think I would be rolling. I should roll to see if she's due or not.
That'll teach you to do some world building.
I know, right? I'm gonna say, oh god, do I really want to do this? Sure.
Yeah, that's the question. Do you want to do this? Because
do I really want to do this?
Absolutely,
You know what?
Drop everything to attend that birth.
I'm not gonna do that right now because I don't want to sidetrack this story any more than it needs to be. Yeah, you get home. They are still fine. They're not expecting quite yet. But the suspense, I know.
Yeah. You should just roll. We don't have to spend a ton of time on it if we don't want to go and do a whole side quest.
Okay. I'll roll. So, here we go. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, I set it to you. Both of you didn't see the roll, I guess, but I set it as a 25% chance, and I rolled a 97, so we're fine. Yeah, well, okay, so I need to do a couple things here. As you were, Kadam, you get back to the cracked spine, and you see Katalm there, and he says, I was trailing him. They spotted me, though, but luckily Lovelace caught my eye. They didn't seem to notice her, so she took over. We'll see what happens next.
Alright.
Just have to wait.
Well, I have practiced waiting.
Indeed.
I will sit down and pack a pipe and start smoking it.
Okay. Easy enough. Okay, cool. I just had to roll something. Lovelace, you by yourself are making your way along the walls of Baldur's Gate back towards Stony Eyes. You can see these massive stone walls looming up before you, and periodically you see the shadows of people walking the parapets as their faces are periodically illuminated by the torchlight on the walls. I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Outside after dark by myself with a load of goods?
Yep.
What could go wrong? 8.
8. Hey, there we go. That's a potentially something. Let's see.
Oh no, I hope nobody attacks me. Me, poor helpless merchant.
Uh-huh.
Caught out after dark when the gates closed.
Can you roll a d12 for me?
1.
Okay. As you are approaching Stony Eyes, you get almost to the edge of the neighborhood, and you see a lone figure walking towards you on the path along the wall. As they approach, you see...
Also, with this, I'm walking alone in the dark. I have pulled at least my 2 hand axes out and like have them on my hips instead of just being totally.
Absolutely.
defenseless.
Yeah,
Just-
that makes
That's
sense.
a sensible precaution.
Makes
Hand
sense.
on the mace,
Yeah, absolutely. Makes total sense.
not literal mace. Other. Yes.
You see this very old woman approaching. She has this curly hair, and her skin is very like full of wrinkles and kind of a weathered cloak as she's approaching you.
Oh.
And as you do approach her, she looks up at you and says, "Pardon me. A moment of your time?"
Sure. You called out after dark too?
Oh, I'm looking for someone. Have you seen an older woman, not myself, of course, in an old-fashioned dress passing this way?
I just came all the way from the Basilisk Gate or Black Gate, and I haven't seen anyone. I haven't seen anyone, right?
Well, no. Well, this one would be see-through, so it would stand out.
Oh, a see-through person.
Yes.
Also no.
Oh, very well. Well, have a wonderful evening, and may
What?
Lathander be with you.
Sorry, I
Oh,
can't help but be curious. A see-through? Are they a ghost?
yes. I'm one of those in the Gravemaker's crew, and we've had reports of a wayward spirit leaving the graveyard. I'm trying to track them down and hope to put them to rest.
Oh, that's good work. My name's Lovelace. I'm from the Healer's crew.
Oh, pleasure. My name is Celine.
Dion.
Oh, maybe when I was younger.
Well, good luck, Celine. Watch yourself out here.
Of course, and do be careful. We've started having more frequent reports of, well, ghouls being attracted to the dead. I guess there's been, I'm sure you've heard a streak of murders within the outer city.
Oh yeah, nasty stuff.
Well, have a wonderful evening.
Do you know anything about that? Actually, before you go.
I'm afraid not.
Okay, just wondering.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay. And Lovelace, as you make your way into the Stony Eyes neighborhood and can see the Basilisk Gate there before you.
Basilisk Gate is on this side. Black Gate is on the other side.
Yes.
And what's the name of the gate on Black Gate?
The Black Gate. So yeah, the gate. So the gate on the Black Gate side is actually called Black Dragon Gate.
Black
And
Dragon Gate.
there
Cool.
is a sculptural relief of a black dragon's head above it.
Got it.
Whereas this one has the basilisk head above it.
Love it.
Yeah. And I think to end tonight, I would like to I think this will be a nice little ending point as you are approaching Basilisk Gate. You were passing by one of the largest slaughterhouses in the district, which you would know to be called Ham Hock's Slaughterhouse. And you see there is this it catches your eye because there's an individual that is just staring at you. You see this gaunt half-elven man just staring at you. And as you were passing, they hold a finger up towards you like this, and they just kind of do this towards you.
Hand on axe, Lovelace will approach.
Okay. As you approach, you see them looking at you almost with admiration, and they look over towards your ear. You see them lose eye contact with you and just looking at your ear.
Can I help you?
Maybe. I'm terribly sorry to bother you this evening, but I couldn't help but admire those beautiful ears of yours. How much?
Bye. I'm just gonna turn and walk. Fast.
And they just watch you leave.
I don't like it. Okay.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session. All right.
Gross. Gross.
That was not something I was expecting.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, very creepy. All right. So, had some strange little encounters in the city as you headed back to reconvene with Kadam, and we'll start next session with Lovelace trotting up to the cracked spine. And yeah, Kadam, you would eventually, it gets pretty late, but you see Lovelace coming down the street, and that's where we'll pick up next session. Sorry there was no murder.
It's fine. I just like saying murder. It's more.
Lovely. You just left the potential murderer.
I know.
Like.
All right.
Oh, right. I could have murdered him.
Or been murdered by him.
Oh, yeah. Good either way.
All right. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to go back and murder him. Hold up, Kidam. Hold this thought.
Wait a minute.
Gonna go do some murder.
The clearly not bad guy.
I just like saying murder. I don't actually want to murder.
I know. It's funny. I have a friend. She actually watches this stream. I don't know if she's on tonight, but I think we've seen her. Lieutenant Crashdown. And when we would play video games together, she would often do that too, and it always made me laugh so hard. She'd be like, "Let's go murder."
Murder.
Anyways, thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session, and I also look forward to seeing you all next week. Good night.
Bye. Good night.